Hey guys, I'm so excited about this. Rachel Maddow is my guest tonight. Rachel will break down the South Carolina primary, walk us through Super Tuesday, and tell us about the coronavirus. And by the end of her segment, Democrats will be like, can she just be the nominee? That's right, Saturday was the South Carolina primary, and by Sunday night, Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the race. Buttigieg said he was ending his campaign to, quote, help bring the party and our country together. Yeah, with that kind of attitude, it's clear he wasn't presidential material. I feel badly that Buttigieg is out of the race, especially since the president spent so much time trying to learn his name.
Boot, edge, edge. Boot, edge, edge. You say boot, and then add edge, edge. Boot, edge, edge. Boot, edge, boot, edge, edge. Boot, edge, edge.
But it wasn't just Buttigieg. Tom Steyer also dropped out of the race. He said, I can't see a path where I win the presidency. It probably would have helped if that wasn't also his campaign slogan. I can't see a path where I win the presidency. It's just basic. But it didn't stop with Buttigieg and Steyer, because just a few hours ago, Amy Klobuchar also dropped out. Amy said, even after all that clomentum, I've decided to clo away. But this is interesting. Klobuchar dropped out and immediately endorsed Joe Biden. And at the end of her speech, she said, I'm Vice President Amy Klobuchar, and I approve this message. We know. We know what you're doing. That's right, the big winner in South Carolina was Joe Biden. In fact, I heard that he even got a congratulatory phone call from President Obama. When Biden asked for Obama's endorsement, he was like, I'm going through a tunnel. My phone's at 2%. No habla inglés. During his rally in Houston today, Joe Biden tried to quote the Declaration of Independence, but I think he had a little trouble with it. Watch.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
What? Later, Biden was like, I pledge allegiance to the, whatever, everybody knows what I'm talking about. As soon as they saw that, Buttigieg, Steyer, and Klobuchar all jumped back into the race. There you go. Trump saw that and was like, damn, game recognized game. But tomorrow is Super Tuesday, and it looks like Bernie Sanders could win big in California and Texas. When asked about Super Tuesday, Bernie said, Super Tuesday, Super Tuesday, Super Tuesday, I'll have the soup. All right. That's right, a lot of people are saying that we're down to a two-man race between Bernie and Biden. Can we see those two? Yeah. Usually guys like that only fight over the last large print copy of Reader's Digest. That's right, we're one slip and fall away from having a one-man race. Meanwhile, this weekend, President Trump showed up at CPAC and started talking about how Elizabeth Warren took down Mike Bloomberg at the debates. He even included a new impression of Bloomberg. Watch this.
She was really mean to Mini Mike. I'll tell you, the way she treated him. He didn't know what hit him. He's going, oh, get me off of this stage. Get me off!
Trump spent 2 days working on that impression and 2 minutes working on the coronavirus. Everyone is still talking about the coronavirus, and now New York has its first confirmed case. You can tell New Yorkers are real worried because the price of Hamilton tickets dropped to just $9,000. I mean, it's rough out there. But the CDC has been reminding everyone to wash their hands for 20 seconds, or as they call it, the time it takes to sing Happy Birthday twice. And apparently measuring the time in popular songs is working, because today I saw this new commercial from the CDC. Check it out.
The Centers for Disease Control presents Hand Washing Hits, a collection of classic 20-second songs to scrub your hands to. You'll get hundreds of hits like Happy Birthday sung twice, Take Me Out to the Ball Game just once, the Seven Nation Army riff hummed 5 times, the guitar part in Sweet Child O' Mine before Axl Rose starts singing, 4 We Will Rock You, the really long day in Bill Withers' Lovely Day, the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga harmony part at the end of Shallow, DJ Khaled saying Another One 20 times, and many more. Order today and get a bonus CD of hand-washing songs for kids, Quarantine Bop. Call now.
Quarantine bop.
Goodness.
And finally, I read about a man in Ohio who gave up food for Lent and said he's only drinking beer. I think the guy might have a drinking problem because he's actually Jewish. We have a great show.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.